Well, hello, back again. But this is only going to be a quick, short.
Oh, it is?
Podcast. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've decided.
All right, you
Okay.
decided.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
This is our third one today, our third attempt.
our third attempt, and
Yeah.
things just keep going awry. ADHD strong today.
Yeah.
Horses and chickens.
Let's talk ADHD.
And all
got
kinds
it.
of things. Yeah, it's my superpower.
Yeah. I think it might be a lot of people's superpower now since social media has made us all ADHD.
A little bit.
I don't think you know what I'm doing? I am reading a book. Okay, I know that sounds really
Wow.
funny, but a paper book that you open and you turn the pages, I am freaking reading one. Yes.
Is it good?
Yes. And as soon as I'm done, and I'm almost done, I'll be done with it by the end of this weekend. You have to read it. It's a very, very good book.
I haven't
Very
picked up
good
a
book.
paper book in so long.
I know, and it's a weird experience.
Interesting.
It's a nostalgic experience, but it's a weird experience because I haven't done it in a really long time.
I can't tell you the last time that I opened up a paper book. It's been years.
and read it and
It's been
actually
years.
read it.
Yeah.
So that's exciting for me, and it is a really good book. It's a horse thing. But it'll be a good book for you, and I can't wait to talk about it after you've read it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Book
that'll
club.
be your next week homework. Yeah, we should start a book club.
No, that would require other people.
Well, it would require us to read more, and I don't know if I have enough time for that.
I know I don't. It's going to take me a long time to finish a book. How many pages are we talking?
It's a little book about, it's maybe 160 pages total. Sounds like a lot, but it's an easy read.
I'll try it,
Yeah.
and then we'll see how long it takes me to read it.
I think it's called,
It's interesting.
I think it's called The Untrainables. It's a good book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, now that you're excited about reading a real book again,
It feels good.
How many people read real books
Yeah.
anymore? Like,
So, and I've been finding my block of time when all the kids are out playing in the above ground pool that we have. I sit out there in my favorite outdoor chair and I read the book while they are yelling at me, "Grandma, watch this! Grandma, Grandma!" And I'm like, "Can't you see I'm reading? I'm reading for the first time in so long." So anyway, I listened to audiobooks, but this one wasn't on audio. And so I had to buy it and read it physically. And it's a good experience. I'm loving it. Yeah.
good.
Anyway,
That's good. More people should read.
I do believe I'm finding it very relaxing, and it's just kind of, even if I only get 5 or 8 pages in at a time, it just feels good to do that. But I feel like where I used to be able to really sit down and just absorb in a book, I'm not. I'm absorbed when I'm reading it, but not to the degree that I used to be able to be. And I don't know if that's just because I'm so far removed
You don't
from
crave
reading.
that read your book, and every
Well,
second.
this one I do. I do want to block out more time to read it, but I have had all 4 granddaughters quite a bit, so that's been a bit of a distraction. Yeah, it's okay though. It's okay. It's just making the journey last longer. which is
Interesting.
cool. Mhm.
How many of you still read paper? Like
Yeah.
read hard covered.
Read not a phone and not
Yes,
a digital book,
not a digital book, not an audio book, but an
Right.
actual hard copied book.
Yeah,
And I'd be curious to know how many people actually do that now.
yeah.
And apparently I'm going to be one of those statistics next week.
You're gonna read one. I'm gonna make you do it. I am gonna make you.
Awesome. All right. So today's topic of choice, I believe, needs to be the upcoming generation of workforce children that we are producing and putting out into the world. Example, our current teenagers that are graduating and moving on to the world, and how hard it is for them to actually fly the nest, get out of the world, or at least home, get out of home and get out on their own 100% and be self-sustaining. Mostly because I'm currently in that situation with my husband and our oldest son, and figuring out how to push that self-sufficient, self-sustaining, you're on your own, but also he still has to live at home because he doesn't have a job to be able to pay for rent somewhere. Rent is really, really high. And yeah, it's a challenge.
You know, and the other really hard part about this is that it just dawned on me is kids have to have good credit to even rent a place anymore. Not just kids, everybody. Like you literally have to pass a credit check in order to rent an apartment most places now.
Or have
Or a
references.
house. Yeah,
but I don't
and a
know,
credit
do
check.
places even do just references for
I don't even
teens
know
or,
anymore.
you know,
but I
young
know that a
adults?
lot of them is you have to fill out a credit application.
Wow.
And you don't have good credit, you get no rent.
Well, I know that our son is trying to get credit, and you have to have, in order to get like a credit card, you have to have at least 6 months work. You know, you've had to have your job for at least 6 months,
Right.
sustainable income. And if you don't have that, you have to have a cosigner. And I've already made it clear that we're not cosigning. I'm not willing to do that because I don't want to be stuck with that bill when he can't pay. I'm not saying that he is so irresponsible that he wouldn't pay his bills, but I also know what it's like to not have the money to pay your bills and have to pick and choose. Been in that situation many times on our own. My husband and I both, where we've had to pick and choose what bills to pay to be able to keep the roof over our head and the electricity on because we were poor. And so, no, I will not co-sign a credit card for my teenager, and I will not co-sign a car right now. Now, once my child gets a good paying job and has been reliable with this job for a period of time, like you co-signed for me once for the truck. And it was simply because our credit was shot. Our credit was shot. My husband and I had a really bad custody battle over his boys, and we spent everything that we had at that time to be able to pursue that and get through it. And so we had to pick and choose bills. We were poor and it sucked. And then I needed a truck because my truck was tired and hauling horses and doing things. And so, yes, you did co-sign for the truck for us, but you knew we have jobs. We're paying our bills. You know, you knew the truck would be paid. And I 100%, I paid it off early.
And I also knew that I liked it. So if I had to repo it, it was going to be no problem.
She could repo the truck because she also really likes the truck. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, not only did I make every single one of those payments on time, never ever defaulted on that loan.
And now you've got good credit too.
And I've got great credit
back up.
Built our credit.
But
it took me 7 years to build our credit back up.
But that being said, I know like my sister-in-law, she is setting their kids up with good credit when they graduate from high school by putting them as added signers or something like that on their credit cards, I think. So they don't, and then she gives it to them for like buying gas, or I think they keep the balances down really low, but if they want them to send them to the store for something, she gives them the card, and then it gets paid off, and then they're graduating high school with good credit. I'm not exactly sure how that, I'd have to talk to her because she's told me that this is how she's done it, because I was of old school time. You build your own credit.
That's
you don't
me too.
get it.
And so I guess I didn't even know that was an option. Because I'm of old school. You're going to have to go and buy a car or get a credit card
or something. Yeah.
Like I mean, I sat on your couch and I applied for my first credit card and I got it. And I still to this day use that credit card. And, you know, so that's what we're doing with our son, which is you're going to have to apply for a credit card. Well, then he quit his job. Technically, he got fired for reasons that were not his fault, so to speak. But irregardless, he's jobless now. And because he did that,
I would say he got fired.
He did quit fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got fired.
I don't say he really got fired.
He
was given an option of not walking or walking, and he chose to
walk.
And he didn't really think about it. He didn't think that through very good, I don't think.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. There was other ways without divulging what the situation was, I don't want to do that.
And
I feel like it could have been handled totally differently.
I do believe his dad and I I think we failed him in handling that from the parental aspect.
Okay.
Looking back, because, you know, hindsight is always 20/20.
Always.
Looking back on that, I could have handled that much differently and given advice versus telling him, you know, whatever you feel is best. Right. You do whatever you feel is best. But I'm also at the point where I'm like, I can't tell you what to do. I can't constantly you need to figure this out on your own. It's sink or swim, you know? So anyways, now because he doesn't have a job, he can't get a credit card without a cosigner, but I won't cosign. His dad won't cosign. We're not cosigning. You're going to have to now get another job and start your 6 months over. Like, so it's in that, we're in that area now. So it's hard for kids to get credit unless you have parents that are doing it for you or, there's a way. Jobs are hard to find, especially for young adults. I feel like jobs are really hard to find.
Extraordinarily so, I think.
Because
I agree. Nobody wants to hire teenagers.
Nobody wants to hire teenagers, which I'm not 100% sure on why. I definitely have my thoughts on
Your
why.
theories, right?
My theories, yes, my theories on, reliability and
I think that's some of it, but I also see when I go into establishments,
it's all older people working.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of them are retired because they can't afford to live. They're unable to afford to live whatever. Some of them are bored. I've asked sometimes,
Oh, yes, I've asked. And some of them literally keep their jobs simply just to keep a daily routine.
Yes, to keep getting,
It keeps them alive.
Yes. So there's that. Some of them truly need the money. Medical is expensive.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, and just the economy today, a lot of people that maybe were retired and doing okay, they're on a more fixed income because of their retirement. And now they have to go out and seek work because things are way more expensive than they probably ever anticipated.
Right.
The struggle is
when you're
real
setting up your
board.
retirement account.
And I'm talking for this average people that just make an average income and had an average retirement with an average home or,
they assumed that their average would be sufficient enough in this economy, and it's not.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. And
so I think the jobs
are
just taken with those people that show up every day and have
a pretty good work ethic. And that's where the reliability is.
And
they already have the references. They have the work history that shows that they were reliable and able to get the job done and has the experience and knows these things. And so they don't have to train necessarily. A lot of the times their training is easy because these people pick it up pretty quick. Versus some of our youth that I'm not to bash on a lot of them, but kids don't have life skills these days. And, when you think about work, the work industry and anything, you do have to have some common sense, but I feel like common sense has gone to the wayside. Like there are some things where I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Zero common sense, zero self-preservation. Like, what is going on with these kids and why are they not, figure it out? You can't look at something and be like, come up with a plan really quick, but you're going to have to get on your device to figure it out versus just get your hands dirty and learn from failure to success. Like, not that I don't use the internet to do a lot. I'm a researcher 100%.
Are kids afraid of failure these days? Are we being raised in such a soft parenting era that they don't have to fail anymore because they are never given a reason to fail because the parents are so
everybody gets a
involved
trophy. Everybody gets a trophy.
And not even fail is a word, like, it's not even failing. It's just, you just get dumped on your ass sometimes. You got to pick yourself up, wipe off your pants and move on. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
don't know. It's really tough. And I know that me as a parent right now, I'm struggling because I am caught in that.
I think you wanted to see him be able to graduate, get out and get a job where he's working 4, 5, 6 days a week.
Yes.
Maybe 1 or 2 jobs. And, make some money and start building up a bank account and start working towards, while still being able to go out and have fun. Like, I remember when I was younger, I worked at the restaurant, this little local diner, and Sandy, she worked at Wendy's. And so she would work and then she always had to work a closing shift. And then I used to hook up with her at her work. So I'd get off before her. I'd usually get off at 9 and I think she had to get off at like 10 or 11. 10 o'clock maybe. And then we would hit a movie, sometimes a late night movie would hit or, you know, I'd go there to her place and I'd get a free Frosty while she was doing closing shift. But, yeah, I feel like those jobs aren't there for the kids anymore. That's what I feel like.
I know. And when I go down
say.
into the city and I look at the structures, when you're in the concrete jungle, and I'm like, there is business after business after business after business. Where are the kids working?
Yeah.
Where can they work?
Right.
Why aren't they working?
Yeah. Where's the little 5 and dime stores that they were able to work at back in the day? And gas stations don't need them because you're not pumping gas. You pump it yourself. Well, now we're going to
in this state. I mean, in Oregon, you don't.
You're right.
But I mean, it's.
But even when I went to Oregon, there weren't kids pumping my gas. It was older gentlemen, really. You know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those struggles. And how do you get these kids out and successful on their own? And then that American dream. What is the American dream anymore? When you were growing up, I mean, I guess the American dream, the beauty about the American dream is it's different for everybody. You've got the people that are like the American dream was to become a millionaire, retire at 45, you know, have everything that they want, and they busted ass to do it. And they would get there and they would get that done. For other people,
it was the white picket fence in a nice little cul-de-sac neighborhood with
your family
nice
and your job that paid the bills, and you were happy and got to do, you know, your little things. But a lot of most of the American dream was to have a job, your own place, your family, whatever, your successes. And that was it. But what is it anymore? Because now I'm seeing kids that they don't really care if they don't move out. Right. They don't care if they don't
because
have a job.
Feel like, honestly, it's not that they don't care. I think, honestly, they're getting out of school and they feel defeated before they even get through those doors. They're defeated because of the economy, because everything is so expensive, because a starter home for somebody is $500,000.
Yeah.
And so they're defeated when you're making, what's minimum wage now? 17 or 18? I don't know.
Honestly,
15.
don't know.
I don't know. But okay, so do you remember what he was making at his job? Like 17, I think.
I think it was 17 something.
Okay, so you cannot, it doesn't math. The math doesn't math when you're making $17 an hour part-time to buy a $500,000 house.
Yeah.
Not happening. It's not happening.
Well, even
it's not happening. Even
at full-time.
It's not going to happen. And even for a $300,000 house, it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So it's really, if you can find one of those in our neck of the woods, I realize, okay, this is the reality of where we live right now. Mm-hmm. You know, it's hard to find a house under $500,000.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, and that's just for a house on a lot, nothing fancy, 450 to 500,000.
Yeah. For your single wide.
Essentially, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got that. So I kind of almost feel like kids today, I'm taking their side a little bit. They are feeling defeated before they even graduate because it's tough. Where in my generation, we were working at 14, 15 years old. You know, I know some of us were working even younger than that. We were babysitting. We were working in the potato fields. We were working. Yeah, you were doing whatever. They would take in younger kids and teach them work ethic and go, even if it was only on Saturday and Sunday or Friday and Saturday. But I started working at 16 years old. I got my first job literally right away after I turned 16.
And it was hard for me at 16 to get a job.
Yes.
I know I struggled.
Right.
And then I was able to pick up some jobs at the mall, you know.
And I think it's harder for
But it was
males.
hard for me too because we lived up here and all of those were down there. So there was a lot of money spent in gas just to get back and forth to work. And at minimum wage, when I was working down below, it really wasn't enough to pay for my car insurance, my fuel. And that was my complaint was like, I have to find something else or find a place to live down there because I can't afford it.
Yeah. And then the other thing I think of too is I feel like it's a little harder for males. And I'm not trying to, you know, this whole sexist thing, but than females, because males in general in society have that expectation of they're going to be the breadwinner of the family. I think that still holds true a little bit. And so young women getting out, I'm not saying all of us because, hey, I'm an independent. I've done it all myself too. I mean, I've bought my own house. I didn't have, so I know. But I'm just saying that I'm thinking of my son. My son Dakota, he's the male of the household, and he wants to be able to buy a house, and then he has he's got his kid, and that expectation to be that breadwinner, I think it's a little harder for males getting out of school. What am I trying to say? It's instinctual to them. It's bred into them to be that, to get a wife and take care of her kind of thing. Do you see what I mean? Where women get out and they're expected, you're going to go out and you're going to find a husband, you're going to do it together, right? Do you see?
I don't know.
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I don't see that as much in this younger generation. Maybe in my generation, I definitely see that, and men go to work.
I mean, it didn't work out for me well
hard.
because I got divorced and I was a single mom, and then I had to do it all by myself anyways, and I bought my own house twice,
But
but
I don't know. I don't see it in this younger generation. I really don't.
I'm just saying I feel like it's a little more mentally, you don't see it. It's just like this internal unwritten.
I don't even feel like they have the internal unwritten.
Well, potentially not, I guess.
I need to get out and, yes, get married and provide for my family. I just don't see that anymore. I don't. Yeah. And that is also truly sad.
Very old-fashioned-y.
Yeah. I mean, my husband, very much old-fashioned for being a millennial. We were just talking about that the other day, about how he's old school in a lot of ways. And when he was saying, he feels like he doesn't fit in anywhere, like when he's at work, mind you, he's kick-ass at his job. He works very hard and does very well, but he doesn't feel like he fits in with the societal norm at the job, I guess, because he is old school, and he doesn't.
So what is the age group of people that he typically works with? Are they younger or older than
a mix of both?
Older?
Mix of both.
Oh,
so
he's kind of in the middle?
Yeah, he is more in the middle. I would say he's on the younger end of his position within the company. Because he works very closely with all of the owners and the CEOs and all the big people of the company. And those guys are all older. And then he runs his crew of guys, which is a mix of older and younger for him. So he's got a pretty good group, I guess. You would think that there would be some that he would, I guess, quote, fit in with. But because he is more old school, like he has that more old school mentality, more of that down home country boy. He's not the flat billed hat kind of guy. He just doesn't feel like he really fits in with everybody. Now, that doesn't take away from his ability to do his job by any means.
Right.
But
maybe though his disconnect at the job, and maybe it's not even.
It's not a disconnect at the job. It's more of the personal aspect.
That's what I'm saying.
Things.
But that's kind of important to have, because when you get too close with your coworkers,
100%.
Then, that creates more issues. So I think he is separating, like when they say separate church and state, I feel like he's separating his job and his personal life are two totally separate things.
Always.
So I'm not going to be your friend at work. Sorry. And you're not going to be my friend at home. We're just not friends. In that respect, you are my coworker. I respect you. We work good together, and we're going to keep it at that. That is a division for him.
Yes.
And he needs to keep that separate. Mm-hmm. Where your friends are a totally separate group of people. He does not work with them.
Yes.
And that's important, I think, for him and his position to be, we're not friends.
Yes. But it's also, when I say he doesn't fit in, it's not even just having the friends. It's just, he just feels
oddball out.
Mm. But, and a lot of that is because he's just old school.
Yeah.
He's, old soul, old school, does a lot of things in the old school manner very much. He is the man of the house. He will figure it out. We do definitely tiff over things like that, because I was raised by a single mom, independent woman, and I am going to figure it out too. So we definitely butt heads in that department in some ways. And it definitely adds to some of the humor in our household.
Sure.
But it's also, we're get her done, when I see, if he's struggling, I will find a way. I will figure it out. When I'm struggling, he finds a way. We're going to figure it out. And it definitely helps us be successful. But I just don't see that in a lot of people anymore. And I think that's where I was going with this with my husband, is I don't think he's seeing it anymore either. And so he doesn't have, it's hard for him to find that connection with people. because where he goes to work and his job is very important to him and important for us to have. And plus he loves his job. That is helpful. He does love his job. He's very passionate about what he does. And he takes it very seriously. So he struggles because at work, where he will find a way to get it done, he will find a way to make it work, and he will work the extra hours. He'll put in all the overtime. Are you gonna come up here, sweetheart? Do you need more waters? Come on. He often is met with people in the workforce that are like, I'm only going to do the bare minimum and what's required of me because it's just a job and I don't care. And I think that is also where there isn't that connection with
the passion
people,
for other people in their jobs is not there like it used to be for some,
No. And I think that that's becoming an issue societally with kids and the younger generations, especially if they're being raised with parents that are just like, it's just another job. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go to work, do my bare minimum, collect my paycheck, go home, kind of thing. So the passion isn't there, the drive. And then kids aren't, seeing like my husband is, you get up sick, dying, half broken, beaten to hell, went out and drank too much the night before. And,
when it's self-inflicted, you get your ass out of bed and go to work.
Yeah. You go to work. Yes. And you find a way to go to work. You make it work. I can't tell you how many times I've put my husband's socks on and had to get him dressed. I get up at 2:00 in the morning and get him dressed to go to work because he did something stupid over the weekend and broke himself. Can't get a shirt on by himself because his ribs are broke or whatever. I get him dressed. He goes to work. He doesn't take time off.
Right.
There is none of that. And I definitely work that way too. You go to work. You just go to work.
Yeah.
And it's hard because that's kind of going to the wayside in the workforce now. And I think that's part of the reason why some of these younger kids are having a hard time getting jobs because they're being raised with you can take time off. You get time off, so you use it.
Right.
I was just talking to another parent who is a Gen Xer. And we were just talking about that too. And she was talking about how she she works in the school district, and she went an entire school district without taking a single day off. Not
school year, you mean?
Or sorry, entire school year, not taking a single day off of work. And she felt like, at the end of the year, she was like, wow, I've not taken a single day off. I'm going to be recognized for this. Like, wow, you don't
nobody cares.
Nobody cared.
No.
Not one person cared. And at that moment, she realized that she is just another person.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter that she shows up and goes to work every single day when she is sick, when she is injured, when she's, as family emergencies are happening, she is at work. She doesn't take time off. It didn't matter. And that is when she decided, I'm going to start taking time off.
Yeah.
And working for herself. And she said, even then it was hard because she was raised like you and like me. You go to work.
Yeah.
It is important that you show up and go to work. And, she's like, I'm learning that I can take time off. And you know what? I am. My kids are coming into town. I'm going to hang out with my grandbabies. I'm going to take time off work.
Yeah.
Because she's just another employee.
I think we're just wired different because I have a really hard time with it too, which is why I have so many months worth of sick time saved up. And for why? I mean, if I drop dead tomorrow, it's just gone. I didn't even get to use it.
You're saving the company or the business so much money by not using your sick time.
Although I am getting my knee replaced on September 22nd, and I am going to have to at least have a few weeks off for that.
Yeah.
So I will have to be, but I was thinking about that. I'm going to have to be back in the office within 10 days because the 22nd, then I got end of the month paperwork that's got to be done. So you know what, guys? I'll be in the office.
Yeah.
With my knee.
And the grandkids, because I'm going to have to be working her position, which is a
potentially
much earlier. So she's going to have the kids with her brand new knee broke down in the office doing office work while I drive her route. But
life happens.
I'll take the extra hours.
Life happens.
But regardless, I think that is one of the biggest struggles in the workforce and too with this younger generation is that is not being instilled, I don't think, at a young age. Now, granted, I did instill that. My husband and I both instilled that in our kids.
Well, you think you did, but again,
we did.
You showed them.
You've
showed them.
He did not take a single day off. Not one single day off did he. Oh, he did. I'm sorry. He did take his graduation day off.
Well,
that was the
warranted.
only day off that he took when he had his job. was that. And he was very grateful. Like I said in the last podcast, he was very grateful that, you know, we instilled that in him. You go to work, you work hard because you will be recognized. And he was. And then an unfortunate circumstance came up in the job, and then he kind of got fired, walked off, quit
fired.
He got quit fired. So irregardless, whatever.
Stuff happens, right?
Stuff happens.
That's what we're talking about, though. I mean, if I know the situation.
Here's where I'm struggling. He quit fired.
Yes.
But I don't see the drive
to go get another job.
He's not pounding pavement trying to get another job because he made this much money and he has this much in savings.
Yes.
And so he knows how long he can go without having a job.
Yes.
But I'm over here like, bro, when the money runs out, I'm not paying your bills.
Right.
I'm not picking up no, I'm not doing it. So I'm like pushing, you know, and yes, he's putting applications in places, but I just don't see the pavement pounding like what I would have been pounding the frickin' pavement because I'm going to have my insurance coming out. And I was also a partier. So man, my money went fast and I was definitely very broke a few times. Mm-hmm. And yes, you did have to buy dog food for me a few times.
Well, and I remember when you were working down there at the one place, you were in the mall, and then I went down to the mall to see you, and I saw all these other help wanted signs all over the
And
stores.
at one point, I was working 2 jobs in the mall.
You did? What did you do?
I was working at Old Navy, and I was working at the Foot Locker.
Okay, because I was going to say, I think I remember telling you, you need to get out there so you can, you know, alternate because you were only working 20 hours a week at the one. I said you can pick up more hours.
And I was, and then when I was working for Old Navy, they wanted to change my shift to something, and I was like, I can't. Because I'm working at this other place, and it was you're either going to do this or you're out, and so I just walked, and ended up picking up extra shifts at the other place, at the Foot Locker where I was working with my friend at the time, and that was pretty good. And then I left. Well, then that Foot Locker got shut down, so we ended up losing those jobs, and then I ended up working at the other mall for a while at the Guest store, I believe it was. And I worked there until I got a job. Until I got the nanny job. Then I was a nanny, and that was going okay for a little while. But then I needed to get a job because I needed more money because I was a partier, and partying is expensive. And so I got my job at the Tribe, and I worked there.
All that childhood trauma she went through being raised with a single mom. She had to party it away.
It was definitely not childhood trauma. It was just, I was a wild card. But then I got my job at the Tribe, and I stayed there until, after I met my now husband, and we got married, and then I had Evelyn on the way, and and he, being a breadwinner and had a job, we were fortunate enough that I was able to be a stay-at-home mom for a while. And then you talked me into becoming a school bus driver, which I hated at first, but now I love my job and really don't have a plan to leave it for any reason unless something else comes up in life and I have a better opportunity or, you know, whatever.
But you were spiraling as a stay-at-home mom. I think that for some people it's a great thing, but for others like you, it wasn't in your,
not
in your DNA.
Not in my DNA.
To be a good stay-at-home mom. No.
Just like my husband says, and I do not get upset with him for this for any reason, but I am a bad wife. And he just said it the other day, you know, he was like, you are a bad wife. And I am like, yeah, I am.
Okay. Why does he think you're a bad wife?
I don't cook.
I think you knock it out of the park.
I do in other ways. I don't cook. He cooks.
That doesn't make you a bad wife. Does he enjoy cooking?
Sometimes.
All right.
Most of the time. He likes cooking meat. So we eat a lot of meat.
That's all right.
I used to though, but
you mean my dad, he loved to barbecue and stuff.
Oh yes,
it's constant.
Yeah. No, I'm not a bad wife, but I'm a bad wife. I'm by wife standard, I guess. If you're an old school, have the wife that's home in her apron, cooking and cleaning with the babies on the hip. That is not me.
That is not me. Yeah, no, it's not me either.
I work.
I mean, I love kids and I have them
and my farm, and I do, I do the house chores and keep up with the house chores and things like that.
With that.
But as for other, not my gig. I'm way too much of a type A personality, selfish person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, with that being said, I I don't see the younger generation aspiring to be that old school man like my husband is. I'm sure there are some. I don't discredit that there are some. But it's definitely not that dream anymore. And I do think it does play into the workforce, and it plays into us exhausted parents that are parenting our adult children.
We shut that door.
And
again, I really feel like our teenage generation right now, I think that they're feeling defeated before they even graduate from high school.
And that might be true.
And I think that they don't have the drive. It isn't necessarily that they don't have the drive, but the opportunities. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong. But I just feel like the job opportunities are not as abundant as they were when I was a kid.
Yeah. Or,
at all.
It was,
for us, it was dwindling when you were, because I was excited to get out of school and then get a job. And for some reason I was excited to adult, and then I became an adult and thought, well, this kind of sucks a little bit, but but I bought my horse, and I had my car, and then I met my husband, and then I had you, and things worked. Then I got divorced, and then but I've always worked. I have always worked. And then even when I was a stay-at-home mom, I still was working from home. Mm-hmm. My job back then, it was pretty rare to do that, but I got to stay home and work for a little bit, for a whole year. And then I did daycare and babysitting and.
Well,
But for teenagers today, and I know raising, my 3 kids, trying to, when you guys were teenagers, I was going to say my 2 boys, trying to get them, you guys got to get jobs. You got to get a job. You got to get a job.
And there's only a 5-year difference between me and my brothers.
I know it. And it was even harder for them.
And it was harder for them in that 5 years.
Yes.
From me to them.
Yes.
And
there was nowhere for them to work. And again, I couldn't afford to buy him a car. Dakota, my youngest, he had to buy his own car. Mm-hmm. And the struggle has been real for my kids, for real. It's been a struggle to get them on their feet.
So we'd like to hear other parents, that may be parenting, something's happening, that may be parenting adult children now, or trying to figure out how they're going to help their kids.
Seems to be working. Okay.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
What are you doing to combat? What are you doing to combat this? Are these kids defeated before they even get out of school? I know there's a whole lot of you out there that are raising very successful kids that are working and going to college and getting their careers off the ground. But what are you seeing out there? We live in a really remote, small town.
Yes.
It's harder. Our kids almost have to leave this town in order to find success.
Right. And a lot of the kids that do leave this town to try and find success end up coming back.
They do. They
coming back here.
Or buying a house out here if they can, mm-hmm, when they, or their commutes are 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night. Right. They're away from home a lot. Or in some cases, they're working, some of them that are working, 2-3 hours away, they just stay down there for the whole week and then come home on the weekends. Right. Kind of thing. So
so people
do make it work. It's just
what are your thoughts? What are your experiences? Because for us in a rural small community, raising kids in this community, trying to raise successful adults, it is definitely a struggle out here. So we'd like to hear some feedback on what are your thoughts, and how are you raising your kids into adulthood and having them get out and be successful?
How are they fudging the nest?
Or are they not leaving the nest? What's your combat? Are you putting a trailer on your property for your kids to be able to live in so that they have some sense of independency but can't afford to live outside of the home kind of thing? Or are they just staying home? Or
are you making them pay rent to live in their bedroom at home?
Right.
Are you making them pay for, asking them to contribute even to the household bills, food, electricity, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious what is that? What does that look like for everybody else in the outside of our little community and world? Because we know what most of our community has got going on, but definitely outside it would be nice to hear some feedback. So anyways, that's our rant for today. My husband's mowing the lawn.
Hopefully it's not too distracting on our,
I don't know. I think with the microphones, it shouldn't be as bad. But irregardless, I'm excited to see our new weed eater in action. It's still in the bed of my truck.
Oh, weed eater time.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
And because of my surgery, I can't. Like normally I would be out weed eating while he's mowing, but I physically am not allowed to lift over 10 pounds. So
Okay.
I'm going to watch him weed eat, and I'm super excited to see the new blade in action because I
Nice.
wanted a weed eater with a blade so freaking bad. So,
All right.
yeah. So
Cool.
anyways,
All right. Well,
that's
thanks.
our question.
Thanks for listening.
How are we raising our kids
Yeah.
into adulthood?
Yeah. What are
So-
your frustrations?
and
Are
what
you
are your
feeling the same frustrations that we are feeling seeing these teenagers? And I mean, my heart breaks for these teenagers
Oh, me too.
now.
Me too. It really does.
truly does. You know, the things that I remember being able to do when I was 15, 16, 17, 18,
Mhm.
19.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not there. I just don't see it anymore. It's sad. It's
It is.
sad.
So yeah, we'd love some feedback. Thanks for listening, and we hope that we get to see you again in the future or hear
Yeah.
from you.
We'll
be
try
sure
and come
to-
up with something next week. If you got a topic you want to talk about, hit us up. Let us know.
Yes.
We'd like to-
Yes.
Yeah, get some topic ideas.
Topic ideas, life stories. We'd love to share yours if you would like to put it out there. Share your experiences, some of your Gen X stories, some of your millennial stories.
Things
Even
you
if
want to
you're a
know about
boomer,
us.
I'd love to hear some boomer stories. I know I got my grandma's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have any questions for us that you'd like us to answer, hit us up in the comment section, and we'll be sure to get on and share those things. So
Yeah.
anyways, have a good day.
Bye-bye.
And save all your money.
Mhm.
I don't care, but you're not spending mine, kind of thing.
Oh.
This is working out really well. Just got
he,
whipped.
he just got the fly off your face.
Why don't you go put him in another stall?
I think that's a gooder idea. A gooder idea, huh, buddy? Right now. Plain stall door. There we go. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for the besters? Ready? Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, I'm such a good boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so good. Oh, the bestest spot. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You are so big, Zeus. You're so awesome. You're so awesome. Oh, arf, arf, arf. That's the bestest spot ever. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's so good. So good. So good. Barn time fun.
Yeah. Now I think we need to start over.
We do?
Yeah, I don't
Why?
like this. I got pecked. Startled me. I'm sorry. Your sister was being bad.